Hi, third years. Okay, this is your last math lesson as third graders. Yay! Actually, you're probably feeling very sad. Okay, so today we're going to review telling time to the minute, and then we're going to get a lesson on elapsed time, or another way of saying it is time intervals. So to start, here's our clock. We all know this is 3 o'clock. We know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, that our shorter hand points to the hour, our longer hand points to the minute. When it's at 12, it's saying o'clock. Each time we hit a number, it is a 5-minute increment, so we can count by fives to get around. And then beyond that, telling time to the minute. So if my minute hand is pointing here, hopefully it'll stay. Yep, okay. So we have 3. At the 1, it would be 05, but now we count by minutes. So 6, 7. So it is 3:07. We remember that this is 3:30 or 3:30. We notice that our hour hand is pointing in between the 3 and the 4. It is not to the 4 yet. The hour hand moves too. And it will continue to get closer and closer to the 4 all the way up into, because right now it's not 4 o'clock yet, is it? It's 5 minutes till 4. We could read this as 3:55 or 5 till 4. It'll be 4, boom, when the minute hand is back at the 12. All right? But let's say that this is our time. Hopefully, stay. Where's it going to go? All right, it wants to stay there. So that's our time. All right, so we see our hour hand is pointed in between the 4 and the 5, so that means it is still in the 4 o'clock hour. Our minute hand is pointing right there, so if we're not sure, you don't have a clock that has these nice minutes right here, we can count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and now we're counting by minutes. 31, 32, 33. It is 4:33. And one more. Let me get it to that'll be good enough. All right, well that works. Time roulette. Okay, so again, it's probably not gonna stay there. I'm gonna have to hold it like that. Okay, so again, it's even though it looks like it's pointing to the 6, it's not. It's not at the 6 yet. All right, don't let it fool you. You're smarter than that. It is still in between the 5 and the 6, which means it is still in the 5 o'clock hour. So it is 5 what? It is 5, let's count by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 50. Pointing at the, we'll say it's pointing at the 51. So it's 5:51, all right? If you know your multiples of 5, you don't have to go around counting by fives each time. You know that 9 times 5 is 45. So you can do it that way, and then count by your minutes. All right, so there will be one page, not very many problems of telling time to the minute, all right? It's so included in your work. Starting off, you will have 2 pages of the lesson that I'm getting ready to go over, time intervals or elapsed time. And then after that is your independent practice for this lesson. And at the very end is a page of telling time to the minute. Okay? So that'll be your follow-up work. So the main attraction, time intervals. To determine a time interval, find the amount of time that passes from the start of an activity to the end of an activity. That is the interval of time that passes, or the elapsed time. When did something start, and when did it end? So we have a nifty-bifty problem here. Evan's mother put biscuits in the oven at 5:10 p.m. She took them out of the oven at 5:27 p.m. How much time passed from the time she put the biscuits in the oven to the time she took them out? Find the time interval from 5:10 to 5:27. So from the start time is what? That's right. The start time is 5:10 p.m. Find the end time. The end time is what? 5:27. So we can count by fives from 5:10 to 5:25. All right? So that's what they do here. It shows you here. So 5:10 to 5:15, 5:15 to 5:20, 5:20 to 5:25, plus the 2 minutes from 5:25 to 5:27. So that's 5, 10, 15, 15 plus 2, 17 minutes. So 17 minutes passed from 5:10 to 5:27 p.m. The time interval was 17 minutes. Let me write that there. Time interval, 17 minutes. That's not too bad yet, right? All right, let's do another one. Example 2. The clock shows the time June's choir practice ended in the afternoon. It was 135 minutes long. What time did it start? So now we know what the time interval is. We have to figure out what time it started if we know the end time. So we know that her choir practice ended at 3:15, and we've got to go back in time 135 minutes. Now, if you remember, how many minutes are in an hour? An hour is 60 minutes. Okay? Just remember you keep that straight, because I know sometimes we might want to think like 100, nope. 60 minutes, all right? So, you can see we're starting at 3:15, we're going backwards on the, so 3:15 to 3 o'clock would be going back 15 minutes. And so it would be helpful to know, we've got 1 hour 60 minutes. So boop. So now we're at 2 o'clock. Another 60 minutes will put us at 1 o'clock. So if we know, if you can kind of do that math in your head, because it says 135 minutes, if you know how many hours that is, that's really helpful. So 60 minutes is an hour, 120 minutes is 2 hours, so that's how we know to go back 2 hours, or you can count backwards 60 minutes. Okay? So the time interval for choir practice was 135 minutes, or 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's the other way to look at it, right? 135 minutes is 2 hours and 15 minutes, like we said. 135 minutes before 3:15 is 1 o'clock p.m. So choir practice started at 1 p.m. Ta-da! All right, let's do our guided practice problem. It says, find the time interval of a movie, use the number line. So the problems on your independent practice will have a number line. Use it. So it says start time. We've got to figure out the start time. It looks like our hour hand is pointing to the 3. Minute hand is pointing to the 1, which means it is, that's right, it is 3:05, and it says it's p.m. Okay? So our start time is 3:05, which they put right here already on our number line. And the end time, it's pointing in between the 4 and the 5, so we know it's still the 4 o'clock hour. And 7 times 5 is 35, so it's 4:35, which they have our end time here. So let's figure out the elapsed time. So from 3:05 to 4:05, that's 1 hour, that's 60 minutes. And now we just need to move from 4:05 to our end time of 4:35, which is 30 minutes. So we add 60 plus 30, 60 minutes plus 30 minutes equals 90 minutes, or 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay? All right. Well, let's do using our, so let's say we have a start time of, I kind of want to just show you like maybe a more difficult one. We have a start time of 2:33 p.m. and we want to end at, I don't know, let's say 4:05 p.m. So what is our time interval from 2:33 to 4:05? So we start off, got our number line, we start at 2:33, okay? Now, it's better to work with some kind of like round number, you know, like ending in 5 or 0. So in this case, since we're ending in a 5, let's just go ahead and do that. So if we add 2 minutes, that would give us 2:35, okay? And then I can add an hour. We'll do that. So plus, we're going to add 60 minutes, 1 hour, and that'll put us at 3:35. And how many minutes do you think it would be to get to 4:05? So if you don't automatically know, you can just use your number line to get there, all right? It's okay if you don't know. That's what the number line's for. So we're at 3:35, we got to get to 4:05. If we want to just go up by tens until we get there, we can do that. So I can add, my number line's not very, I can add 10 minutes, and that'll get me 3:45. Can add another 10 minutes. That'll give me 3:55. Guess what happens if we add another 10 minutes? Da, 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 da. That'll get us to 4:05. And now all that's left for us to do, is add up all of our time that is elapsed. So we have 60 minutes plus 10, 20, 30 minutes plus 2 minutes. So we've got 92 minutes or 1 hour and 32 minutes. Okay? So use your number line to help you solve it. Okay? And yeah, reach out if you have questions. Hopefully it's not too confusing. I know it's kind of, this is a weird way to do this because, you know, I show it to you and then it's kind of like, okay, do it. And, you know, I'm not right there if you're like, wait a minute, I don't quite get it. So if that wasn't enough and you need to see more, you need to talk to me, just reach out, and I'll be there. All right. Talk to you later.